hope you guys can hear me over the birds because they are quite loud. I am currently in Spain. I'm in Valencia, and I graduated college about 3.5 months ago, and I did some journaling today, and I wanted to make a video talking about all of my post-grad thoughts, my plans, and how life changes. I feel like I've gotten enough of an idea thus far. I feel like I've been in the post-grad cycle long enough to formulate some thoughts. So I have my bullet journal, I have a book, I have everything I need to talk about this today. Yeah, let's jump right in. I graduated from NC State in May, so it's been about 3.5 months now. I came up with some journal prompts for you guys, and yeah, feel free to use these. I asked Logan for help to making these. I broke it up into 5 different questions. We can just start with the first one. How has daily life changed? My daily life since graduating college, there's definitely less of a structure to it. I'm able to create more of my own structure, which is obvious to anyone, but I don't have a traditional 9-to-5 job. I work in a restaurant currently, and I'm also working on music. So I don't have to get up at like 8 a.m. every single day, go to the office for like however long, etc. So when I want to get things done, I have to just pencil that into my own schedule. And I've always been pretty good about time management, but it has been a little hard with the burnout, I think, of college. You know, you're going head on like for 4 years, and it can be really, really stressful. And when you graduate, it's almost like it's anticlimactic, first of all, for a lot of people. And then you get this like the adrenaline, like, it ends, and then you're just so tired and so burnt out. I found myself being really excited to complete all the things that I've personally put on the back burner for college. You know, I've put music on the back burner, I've put art and reading and creativity and all of my hobbies on the back burner. Now I have the time to do them, and it's overwhelming. It's overwhelming. So your hobbies do come back. You do have more time for them. I think a lot of people 9-to-5s kind of realize, like, oh, I have time to do stuff now, I don't have homework. For me, I have so many hobbies that I can't pick which ones to do because they all take up so much time. Like, each hobby of mine requires dedication and a hyperfixation almost. I also wrote in here, daily life is overwhelming, picking which things to do, and understanding that I'm older with less academic pressure, so I just get less things done in a day. When I don't have a deadline that is like 24 hours from now, I'm not gonna stress myself out after being stressed for so long. I think it's easy to lose that sense of structure. I can be like, oh, I want to get this done today, and oftentimes it doesn't get done, and I get really frustrated with myself, but I just have been cutting myself so much slack over the summer. I'm interested to see if that changes, like in the fall. I don't know if it will or if it won't. If you guys see more YouTube videos, then you'll know that it's working and that I'm getting more done. And then I wrote things I want to work on. Planning better. Exhibit A, YouTube videos. I want to upload more YouTube videos. I have giving myself a creative workspace. I want to find a place in my house that's not my bedroom that I can just go down every morning and start working. Like, I want to be editing. I want to be looking at TikToks to make. I want to be right by my piano where I can compose if creativity strikes. Like, I want to give myself a set space where I can let that creativity flow and let it start to become more practiced and productive. Books that I want to read. The Artist's Way that Claire's been talking about. I don't have it yet, but I will get it soon. And then another thing I want to work on is saying no. I want to say no to hanging out with people because I just can't help it. I'm an extrovert. I love hanging out with people. I want to see all my friends. And as you know, we'll get into it, but friendships post-grad can be harder. So I always want to say yes, but I have to take more time for myself, and I have to be more serious about my creative pursuits and start giving them the respect that they deserve because I've had to put them on for so long. How have my relationships changed? I don't have a lot here. I have 2. Friendships become more intentional just because you aren't seeing people conveniently in your house, in your space every week anymore. If you want to see people, you have to plan in advance. I'm lucky that a lot of my friends live in the same city as me, so I'm able to see them more often than I think if I had moved to an entirely new city. I haven't had to struggle with making friends as an adult yet. It's less telling if someone hasn't reached out to you in a couple months, I think, because I think everyone is so busy and it's so hard to just adjust to work life. Like, if somebody doesn't text me for 3 months, I'm not like, whoa. I'm just like, okay, they're busy, they got stuff going on, so do I. Like, I get it. I also think my relationship with my parents is different. I think that they listen to me more, and I think that there is greater respect that goes both ways. I think I respect my parents more, and they respect me more, just as an individual, as a person. I also wrote, this might be too early to tell about how my relationships will change because I am only 3.5 months out. I think it will be interesting to see how relationships change when I do move, because I do want to move out of my hometown at some point, hopefully. So I think it'll be interesting to see how things change then, and I'll do another video like this and kind of journal my like thoughts after like living somewhere new. How have my motivations changed? I feel like my focus has switched from productivity to creativity. And I saw a TikTok, it's at Gabriella Rosie on TikTok, and she said this and I commented on it. I love it so much, and so I'm gonna read this quote out to you guys. This made me feel so much more seen as an artist, and it made me feel so validated. I digress. The very act of creating is the antithesis of productivity. There is no finite, understood, predetermined solution to get you to create the thing that you want because you are making something new. It's going to require trial and error and mistakes along the way. I love this quote. I think it is so perfect. When I'm trying to write a song, it's not like there's a set amount of things I have to do for it to be right. Like, I can't just be like, okay, write the lyrics, write the chords, and that's it. And technically, yeah, those two things will get done, but you never know if you want to like layer something, if you want to incorporate a different type of music or a different style. Like, there's so many other things that can be added into it. Same goes for painting, writing, like everything. When you're being creative, you have not, that's never been done before. Whatever you're doing right now in that moment has never been done before. It's never happened in the universe, and you just have to come up with that. That made me feel way less harsh on myself. I also wrote, becoming okay with this switch from productivity to creativity is hard to unlearn, especially in the academic system in the US. I also wrote, often in society, we associate our upwards and downwards trends in our productivity to be directly correlated and associated with our self-worth. Balancing those notions are imperative because you still want to get things done. You still want things to happen, but understanding that that is not a measure of your success is really hard when all you've been working for your whole life is like, okay, I turned that assignment in, okay, I wrote that essay, okay, I took that test, like I completed these courses, now I'm on this. It's a marathon, not a sprint when it comes to creativity, which is something I've learned. And so I wrote as like a sister phrase to that, it's a way of life, it's not a job. If you want to be creative, you have to live creatively. How has my perspective changed? And this can be on life, the world, and success. So I kind of wrote one of each, basically. I still feel pressure being in my early 20s, but I also know that I am being fully authentic and true to myself, and doing anything except for what I love would be more uncomfortable. I know that I've put myself in a hard position being a musician in just the world. It's a hard job. It's not a guaranteed salary. Nothing is guaranteed really. But there is beauty in that paradox of choice that we are served with. I think that I'm happy because I understand that this is my true calling. I love music and I love songwriting. I can't imagine doing anything else. When I say that, I don't mean that songwriting will be the only thing that I ever do. I'm sure that I will have to do other things in order for songwriting to become something that happens, but I know that this is what I want, and I'm willing to put in a lot of hard work and effort for that to be attainable for myself. That's how I feel. This journaling has made me so confident. I also wrote for the world. The world is small but also big. Being in Spain has helped me understand a slower pace, and I want to keep exploring. I'm going to read you guys 2 quotes from Tender's Night. I'm only 25 pages in right now, and a woman and her mother are in France currently at a hotel, and they're American, and they're in France, and that is the context that you need to know for the purpose of this exercise that we are doing. After lunch, they were both overwhelmed by the sudden flatness that comes over American travelers in quiet, foreign places. No stimuli worked upon them. No voices called them from without. No fragments of their own thoughts came suddenly from the minds of others, and missing the clamor of empire, they felt that life was not continuing here. I loved this quote because I've been kind of thinking about it all this time that I've been in Spain. It's not that there's not a news cycle, it's that there is such a slower way of life, and I know that that is often the case in European countries, but especially in Spain, it's like every meal takes like 3 or 4 hours, you have a siesta. I feel like you are living more intentionally, and I find myself wondering how much the extent of that bleeds into the happiness that we find in our daily lives. I love this slower living. I feel like I have way more hours in the day, and I think it is because of the stimuli and the advertisements and the constant state of media consumption I'm in when I'm living in the US. Here, being that I'm not on my phone as much because, you know, we're walking around, we're looking at things, spending a lot of time face to face with people, it is less overwhelming. I do think that media consumption can be detrimental if it is overused. And there's another quote, again, finding the dim conventions of the 90s realer and nearer than the headlines of the French paper. It was the same feeling that had oppressed her at the hotel. Accustomed to seeing the starkest grotesqueries of a continent heavily underlined as comedy or tragedy, untrained to the task of separating out the essential for herself, she now began to feel that French life was empty and stale. I just love those two quotes because it makes you think about how much we are told what to think, or how much we are subtly influenced to feel and decide, and what's cool and what's not cool. And I know this isn't like a revolutionary thought to have, but to read that while I was experiencing the feeling of like, oh my god, I don't feel like so absolutely bombarded with thoughts and ideas, it feels so much better. And I think that I'm really going to work on my media consumption when I go home. Tell me what you guys think of that in the comments, because I'm so curious to hear what other people have to say on those two quotes. I think that my perspective post-grad, it's made the world feel more accessible because I don't have classes to attend, but this is also because I don't have like a 9-to-5 job. I still have to work. So I guess I do feel a little bit tethered because I'm like, I know that I have to be there to be scheduled and to make money and, you know, that kind of thing. But I do definitely feel like, oh my god, I can go to Spain in September. Like, I can plan trips that aren't within the school calendar. Like, that in and of itself is refreshing too. So it is different when you are no longer in the structure and confine of like a school schedule or a university schedule. And then I have, the universe has ideas and plans. What is meant for me will happen when I'm ready, and I will work on my craft until then. I don't know if I've talked about this in a video before, but I watch Bria Jones, her at right here, and she has this one video. I don't even remember the exact video, but I just remember what I took away from it. And I remember her saying that if something's not happening for you, it's like a gift and like a blessing for you to be able to work on your art and your craft, so that way when something does happen for you, it can be sustainable. Now that school's over, I get less stressed out that I don't have a huge music following or a huge following here on YouTube. I don't stress out about that as much because I know that my editing has gotten better in 4 years. If you watch my videos from 4 years ago, they're so much worse than these ones are today. Even my debut single that came out 2 years ago, when y'all hear this new stuff, it's gonna have the same essence, but you're just gonna be able to tell that there was growth there, you know? So I'm excited to keep working on myself as a musician and an artist, and I know that when things do start to fall in line and people are like, oh my god, I want to watch more of her videos, I'm going to be able to sustain that need. Or, oh, I want to hear more of her music. Okay, well now I've gotten used to writing and how I write and understanding myself as an artist, so I can make music faster. So if you're struggling with how to feel as a creative, I would definitely go watch that video. It was very helpful for me. I also wrote that I have a lot of self-growth to do before I move into the world. I would like to be more balanced. When I say this, I think that I've gotten pretty confident in myself as a person, but I think that my biggest thing is before I move out, I want to be able to be consistent with my dreams. I've said that I want to do YouTube videos. I've always wanted to do like 4 videos a month, and my last couple years at college, it's been really hard for me to do that. Before I move across wherever I want to move, I want to be able to be good at not letting myself down, I guess. Before I move, I want to have been consistent with YouTube. I want my music to be done, well, at least this project. I just want to be able to show up for myself better than I have been. I think it's also, again, still working on undoing that productivity versus creativity mindset. I think I am being better about it, but I don't feel that yet because all of these things are such long-term projects, long-term gratification. When I do reach those goals, it'll be so much sweeter because it'll be like, oh my god, I've worked on this for years. Like, this is years of like my life that I've put into this. I just want to be more confident in myself as an artist and as a creative before I move. I'm really taking this interim limbo period between graduating college and moving to another city with a lot of intention. I'm trying to really be looking and reflecting on myself as I do this, and I have a lot to do. Like, I have a lot of stuff to do. When I start to be consistent with YouTube and when my music can be released and stuff like that, I will feel more confident, like, okay, yes, now I can handle moving to a new city, because that's a huge stressor and that's a really big life change. And if I can't show up for myself creatively yet before I even move, again, like Bria said, like, it will happen when it's meant to happen. I'm gonna be ready future plans. It is only 3 months since graduation. This video has been really positive thus far. Don't get me wrong, I still have days when I'm feeling exhausted by life. I feel like there's so much I want to do and it's not getting done, and I feel kind of like let down and hopeless. You guys are just catching me at a really good moment. I mean, obviously I'm on this beautiful terrace in the middle of Spain, but just know that this is not this is not every day. This is just my best, my most concise and well articulated thoughts post-grad. But anyways, my future plans. I have the 3 bullet points here. I want to release my EP, I want to monetize YouTube, and I want to move to London or Paris. I don't know. I have been working on an EP for about a year, a little over a year now, so that's going to be 5 songs. I don't know when it's going to come out yet just because at this point right now in September, I have 2 demos that are mostly done. They just need to be in session, recorded, the final take, so that they can be sent off to be mastered. My goal is to be able to put out the EP in like the spring of next year, maybe summer, like early summer. That's my goal. Even saying that, I'm nervous because it really is just a matter of, you know, I could release this music so fast if it was me in the studio every single day, but working with my producer, like we both have, he has other clients, we both have lives, like I have a job, you know, like there's other things that are going on. We can't see each other every single week, so it's hard, and it's hard to give myself grace for that too, and know that when this music does come out, I'll be so proud of it because I worked so hard on it and I love the song so much. So I'm really excited for people to hear it. I think it's gonna be really good. My next goal, monetizing YouTube. This is a goal that's been on my New Year's resolutions for like 5 years now. I wanna monetize YouTube so badly because this is something that I'm really passionate about. I love making videos, I love vlogging, I love all that stuff, I love editing. Now that I don't have the excuse of college in the way, I need to get that done. And then the last future plan is to move to London or Paris. I've broadened this to Paris in the last week, literally. I think that if I did move to Europe, I would probably pick London. I've been talking about it for so many years. I love so many musicians that are based out of London. And then I just also added Paris as a caveat. If London doesn't work out, maybe I'll move to France. I studied French in school for like a decade, so hopefully I remember some of it. Those are all of my post-grad thoughts that I wrote down for you guys. If you have any other questions, you can definitely leave them in the comments below and I'll try to answer them. Those are my current thoughts. I'm feeling really inspired and motivated to just like get stuff done. I think the summer was a bit of a burnout period for me, I will not lie to you. But burnout periods are okay. We just have to get back up and think. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe, like this video. I'm going to go get ready for dinner. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!